Elon Musk sat quietly in the back seat of a yellow cab, his phone screen glowing dimly in the twilight. He had just wrapped up a long day of meetings in New York City, discussing everything from Mars colonization to AI ethics. The city lights blurred past, and the rain tapped rhythmically on the window. Lost in his thoughts, he hardly noticed when the driver cleared his throat. "Long day, huh?" the taxi driver asked, his voice warm but weary. His name, according to the small ID tag on the dashboard, was Samuel. Elon looked up, slightly surprised. "Yeah, you could say that." Samuel nodded, keeping his eyes on the road. "I know that look, like your brain's still back at work. Happens to me all the time." Elon chuckled. "You too?" "Yep. I used to be a software engineer before this. Life's funny like that." Elon raised an eyebrow. "Really? What happened?" Samuel hesitated. His hands tightened around the steering wheel, knuckles turning white. "Well, I had a startup. Healthcare technology. We were developing an app to help elderly people manage their medications. My mom, she struggled with that, you know? But when she passed, I lost my drive. Investors pulled out, and here I am." The silence hung between them, punctuated only by the swish of the windshield wipers. "That sounds like a really important project," Elon said softly. "A lot of people could benefit from something like that." Samuel let out a long breath. "Yeah, but it's too late now. I couldn't hold it together. Bills had to be paid. Dreams don't cover rent." Elon leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. "Do you still have the code? The designs?" Samuel glanced at him through the rearview mirror, his expression a mix of confusion and curiosity. "Most of it, yeah. Why?" Elon smiled, a spark of inspiration lighting up his face. "Because I think it's worth revisiting. Maybe with a bit of support, it could still happen." Samuel laughed, a short, skeptical sound. "Sure, if I had a couple of $1 million lying around." Elon didn't laugh. Instead, he pulled out his phone, his thumbs tapping rapidly. "I'm serious. Send me the details. Let me take a look at what you've got. I might be able to help." Samuel's eyes widened. "Wait, are you?" "Elon Musk," he said, extending his hand between the seats. "And I'm not joking. If the idea has potential, I'd love to help bring it to life." The rest of the ride was filled with excited conversation. Samuel described his app in detail, how it used simple interfaces and voice reminders to help seniors manage complex medication schedules. He spoke with a passion that had long been buried under years of survival mode. When they reached Elon's hotel, he didn't just pay the fare. He took Samuel's contact information and promised to be in touch. It wasn't a hollow promise. The very next day, Samuel received an email from one of Elon's team members, scheduling a meeting to discuss the project further. Within weeks, Samuel found himself sitting in a modern conference room at Tesla's headquarters. Surrounded by a team of developers, designers, and project managers, he was no longer just a taxi driver. He was once again an entrepreneur, the lead visionary of Remind Care. The app's concept evolved rapidly under the guidance of Musk's team. They added new features, including integration with wearable devices, allowing for real-time health monitoring. Samuel often worked late into the night, energized by the second chance he had been given. Elon dropped in occasionally, offering insights, challenging ideas, and ensuring the project stayed on course. "If we're going to do this, let's do it right," he would say, pushing the team to think bigger. During one meeting, a developer suggested incorporating an AI-driven assistant that could learn the habits of elderly users and offer personalized reminders. The idea sparked excitement. Samuel was at the forefront, mapping out scenarios, testing user flows, and sharing stories of how his late mother would have benefited from such features. 6 months later, the app was ready. The launch event was held at a tech conference in San Francisco. Samuel stood on stage, his voice clear and steady as he presented Remind Care to an audience of investors, healthcare professionals, and tech enthusiasts. The app not only provided medication reminders, but also allowed family members to monitor their loved ones' well-being remotely. The response was overwhelming. Remind Care received accolades from medical professionals for its thoughtful design and real-world applications. The media picked up on the story of how a taxi driver turned entrepreneur, with the backing of Elon Musk, had developed a potentially life-saving app. Remind Care quickly gained traction. Hospitals and senior care facilities adopted it, and stories began pouring in from users who felt safer and more independent. An elderly woman from Chicago shared how the app reminded her to take her insulin, preventing a serious health crisis. A father in Seattle used it to keep track of his aging father's medication while working overseas. Elon and Samuel worked on expanding the app's reach, offering it free to low-income users and partnering with non-profit organizations. They also developed a version for those with cognitive impairments, using visual cues and simplified prompts. Samuel's life transformed. He moved out of his tiny apartment into a comfortable home. He no longer drove a taxi, but instead focused on expanding the app's capabilities. He became a speaker at tech events, sharing his story of resilience and the power of second chances. One afternoon, as Samuel sat in his new office, he received a message from Elon. It was a simple note. "Proud of you. Let's grab lunch." Over sandwiches at a local cafe, the two men reflected on how a simple taxi ride had turned into a life-changing opportunity. Samuel expressed his gratitude, but Elon shook his head. "You did this, Samuel. I just helped nudge the door open. You walked through it." Samuel's eyes shone with gratitude. "Still, not many people would have done what you did." "Thank you," Elon smiled. "I believe in potential, and yours was too bright to ignore." And so, a chance encounter on a rainy evening in New York had blossomed into a story of redemption, innovation, and the impact one person can have on the world when given a chance.